Hello, my name is Jack Kasowitz, and welcome to Animal Stories. For the next year, once a week, I'm going to tell you a story of some animals I've worked with. This week's story is about Connie, an orangutan living at Jungle Island. And an amazing story because one of the questions I'm always asked, how smart are the great apes? How smart are orangutans, chimps, bonobos? And so I hope that this particular story will give you an idea of, in their own ways, very brilliant. Connie, who's I guess about 45 years old, loves rakes. You know, when you go rake a leaf, she always watches the people around her enclosure. And if they leave it up against, lean this rake up against her enclosure, she owns it. She grabs it, pulls it through, and she owns that rake. So you've learned a long time ago, you don't leave any rakes around Connie. That's one of her favorite things. Don't know why, it's just the way it is. On this particular day, I was working with Hannah and Peanut and Pumpkin and Jake in the adjacent enclosure, and I watched one of the people who work around Connie take a rake and lean it up against a tree, maybe 10 feet away, 10 feet away. And I knew Connie. Connie sat down and she started looking at it, just very calmly starts looking at it, and you can see her thinking. She's looking at it and she's thinking, and I'm going, she's going to figure a way to get that rake. I mean, I don't know how she's going to do it. It's outside the enclosure by 10 feet, but she's going to figure a way. So I watched her. She goes over in the corner and gets her blanket out and takes her blanket. It was maybe a 3-foot by 4-foot blanket, maybe a little longer. And she takes it and begins to rip it, but she rips it in the form of a snake. In other words, rips it like this, right? And then she makes it into a long kind of, almost a stick. I said, well, that's not going to work. It's fabric and it's not stiff enough. She takes it now over to her water area and wets it, which makes it stiff. She lays it on the ground, rolls it up very tight, and pushes it out slowly towards the rake. And she takes the end of it, gets inside the little pieces of the rake, and she snags it, and she's now got the rake. She pulls it back to her enclosure, and she owns the rake. Now you tell me, could you figure that out? I know I couldn't. So that's this week's story of Connie and the rake. And I just find animals do brilliant things that we sometimes overlook. This one I could not overlook. So, as always, remember we don't own this planet. We're not entitled to it. We are stewards of this planet for you, for me, our children, and all life on Earth. So let's take care of it. God bless. See you soon.